Welcome back to Adrian's Avenue, and I'm Adrian, and on this channel we love to discuss topics that will help you make better decisions for a better life. And today, one of my very favorite topics, which is real estate. We've talked about the interest rates dropping, and so you may be considering, is now the time to buy my house with the interest rates dropping as low as they are? Well, that depends, and we are going to jump right in and talk about it. So the interest rates has fallen. So what does that mean for you and your dreams of buying a house one day? You may have been in an apartment for the last 2-3 years and you think, now's my chance. I need to go ahead and purchase that house. Well, it depends on a lot of things. First of all, real estate is local, meaning what's going on here in Austin, Texas is different than what's going on in Dallas, what's going on in Houston, what's going on in San Antonio, what's going on in Ohio, what's going on in New York, California. They're all different. They're all different markets. So when people come out and start to predict what's happening in general or all over, they're not quite right because different things can be happening in different areas. Okay, so get that in mind first. So what you want to do, actually, if you're thinking about buying a house, are you in a position to purchase that property? Do you know what's going on in the market in your city? Do you have the right amount of money saved up? Are there things that you've been doing to prepare for that? And the best thing that you could have been doing 2-3 years ago, 6 months ago, a month ago, right now, is start working with a real estate agent. Agents are invaluable when it comes to buying a house or even selling a house. But as a buyer, you need someone on your side. Just like you wouldn't go into court and defend your own case, you should not go try to purchase the largest purchase that you probably will ever make in life with no assistance on your side, no help. You don't know what you're doing. No one to navigate you through these things. Real estate agents, we know certain things that can help you, can save you money, can save you time. If you would sit down and talk to us and just listen to what we have to say, we have value to offer you. And so in this video, we're going to talk about some things for you to consider before you just run out and buy the house that you think that you may want right now, and talk about some things that your real estate agent can help you with. Okay, the first thing that I want you to consider is market conditions. You will know in your area, and you can Google in your area, the market conditions such as what are the interest rates? What can you get? You can visit your local bank, credit union to find out, have rates really fallen for mortgages, or where are rates falling? Right now, because the mortgages are reflected off the bond rates, it hasn't affected, as of this taping, it hadn't affected the rates that much. However, rates are creeping down just a bit. So it's going in the right direction. We don't know what will happen next year or, the beginning of next year, the end of this year even. Rates could fall and the opportunity could be there. Rates could continue to fall just depending on what the economy is doing. But what's going on in the market in your area? Little known, there are some builders, especially in my area, in Austin and the surrounding area, that if they have inventory sitting on the market, those rates, they've already bought down rates. There are rates that you can get for 3.99% for a house that's already on the market. Okay, so it's not impossible to get a rate below 6% to work to your advantage. There are builders that have bought down the rates for the first year. It'll creep up the second year, creep up the third year. But there are some builders that have bought the rates all the way down, and they can give you a 30-year mortgage at 3.99. I saw one for 3.79. They have inventory sitting on the market waiting for someone to buy, and they need to move these houses. Some of them are wanting to close out a section before they move into a new section. So what they're willing to do is not only give you a low interest rate, they are willing to work deals on these houses, you all. And I'm telling you this because I'm out there looking myself for my next investment property. If the deal is so good that I can get a new house that's sitting on the market and they're willing to do some of these things that they're saying that they're going to do, that they are actually doing, and some of them are giving the real estate agent a commission higher than we normally get. So if that's the case, Yes, I'm willing to work with them. Yes, I'm willing to look, especially for myself, to buy something because I can save money and get a good interest rate on it. So you have to consider all these things, but it is local. It's about what's going on in your area. Where do you want to live? You know, do you want to live in Austin? Do you want to live right outside of Austin? There's Round Rock, there's Pflugerville, there's Cedar Park, there's Taylor, there's Hutto. There's just all these, Georgetown, all these places outside of Austin that are just great, gorgeous, nice places to raise a family. You can live there instead of living inside of Austin, which is a lot higher than living on the outskirts of Austin. So you need to know these things about your market. If you don't know, your real estate professional is there to help you with those things. Housing inventory, and this is something that you probably won't know. So you really do need to connect with a real estate agent. But housing inventory, we will know how many houses are out there, how many is listed, how many were sold, how many is pending, all of that. We'll know all of those statistics for you for the area, even down pretty much to the neighborhood that you want to be in. And so there are new homes as well as resales. So these are homes that were previously owned that the owner wants to put it up to sell. So if there's a seller that really wants to sell a house, they may be willing to negotiate on the terms more quickly than if there's a bunch of people lined up to buy their houses. Then there are areas in our town, in these various towns that I mentioned, that are hot areas. There are areas that are not so hot areas. You can get better deals in those areas that maybe everybody doesn't want to move there right now. There are areas that are being developed that will be hot in the near future. There are companies coming here, and you know, it depends on where you want to be, how much you want to know about these areas so that you can make the best decision for you and your family, because you're not just going to be there 1 year. You may be there 5, 7, 10, 15 years in that area, or you may find the house you like and just spend the rest of your life there. It's rare, but that can happen in some cases. So you need someone to help guide you along these lines. The next thing we're going to talk about is your financial readiness, because that's the most important. Before we get to financial readiness, I want you to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on the latest information as it becomes available to you, and share this one out. I'm dropping gems. If I'm not your realtor, which would be a bad decision, there's somebody out there in your area that can be your realtor and help you walk through this decision and just guide you along the way. We don't make decisions for our clients, but we do help and navigate this system for them so that they can make the best possible decision for them and their families. Share it out. Your financial readiness will be the most critical thing as far as buying a house. You can find the area you want. You can find the house you want. You can know about the market. You can know about the incentives and deals that they have going on out there. However, if you're not financially ready and prepared to purchase that home, you're not going to be able to do it, because you have lenders to deal with and you have other things that you have to pay for before you can even get into that home. So yes, it's going to take some money up front before you can get into that home. There are different kinds of loans out there. I'm not necessarily going to go through all the different loans, but you should be ready before you purchase this home that you say that you want to purchase. Now, we have to live somewhere, and if we live somewhere, we have to pay either a mortgage or rent. I like either one of them. I like my tenants paying me rent, and then I pay the mortgage for my own properties. But and I'm gaining the equity in the property as I pay the mortgage for my own property. But the tenants are paying me, and if I owe on that property, I'm still gaining the equity in that property when they pay my mortgage for me. So that being said, you have to be prepared. So there are going to be some upfront cost, and your credit score will need to be in order. The higher you can get it, the better rate you will get. And that's the bottom line. If you can get close to 780s, 800s, you're golden, right? Anything less than that, you may be able to buy a home, okay, but you may have to purchase it at a higher interest rate. They may not give you the very best interest rate that they can because of your credit score. When you dip down into the 600s, below 660, 640, then you, for sure, if you're able to buy a home and get a loan, you will be paying a higher interest rate on that. You can still do it, but the best thing to do, and what you should have been doing over the past couple of years, or at least over the past time you've been listening to my channel, is getting your credit in order, getting your bills paid off as low as possible, paying the bills on time, getting the budget together, getting an emergency fund together, stocking away some money for investments or to buy your next home, to buy your next car, whatever it is you want to purchase. So if you have your finances in order, this will work to your benefit. So number one, you have to have your credit and credit score, because they'll look at credit score and they'll look at credit history. And the first thing a realtor is going to ask you is, how much do you qualify for? Because it makes no sense for me to take you to see houses, your dream home that you fall in love with, and then you can't buy it because of your credit score or credit history, because you cannot get enough money loaned to you to purchase that house. I need to know how much can you afford, and those are the houses that I'm going to show you, because I know I'm going to get blamed, even though it's not my fault. I'm going to get blamed as your real estate agent why you could not buy that house that you wanted. And not because your credit wasn't up to par or you could get that much money. It's because I went and showed it to you and you fell in love with it. I will not be responsible for that. I will not make that mistake. I need to know how much you can afford. Once you give me that number, I can calculate and show you as many houses as you want to see with some other details that you tell me that you want about the house till you find that perfect house for you. Next up, the down payment. You have to be financially ready for a down payment. Now with the VA loans, in most cases, you're probably not going to have to put a down payment in. For a USDA loan, in some cases, you don't have to put a down payment. So those are different kind of loans. But when it comes to a conventional loan or an FHA, you're going to have to put down anywhere from about 3% to 20%, depending on if it's an investment property, if you're going to live in the house itself. Even investment property, you may have to put up to 25% on down on that. But this is an amount of money that's going to have to come out of your pocket. So this is something, just get it in your mind. If it's a $100,000 house, 3% is $3,000. 20% is $20,000. So as you can see, an investment is riskier than you actually living in the home. So since that's the case, they ask for more money up front. They want you to have more skin in the game. They want you to have some kind of skin in the game, but more skin in the game, the better it is for them, because you're probably going to stay and pay. If you don't pay, you'll be leaving. Okay, so just know that there's going to be a down payment involved. Debt to income ratio, and this has to do with the loan again. The debt to income ratio, you have to be making a certain amount of income and only have a certain percentage of your debt going toward the income that you're making, right? And the magical number is about 36%. You don't want your debt ratio to be over 36% of your income. So let's say you make $10,000 a month. And I know I'm just throwing out some numbers that are easy to work with. If you make $10,000 a month, you don't want your monthly expenses to be over $3,600, right? This is with that house payment included in. So make sure you keep now there are some lenders that may go a little bit above that or may ask for some more down payment, or it may cost you more in interest if you go a little bit above that. But keep it there. And there are some people that want you to drop it even lower, like 25% of your actual monthly bills and everything. But take this in consideration because it's protecting you. If you cannot make your monthly payment for the house, then it's going to get foreclosed on, right? So why put you in a situation that it's so tight that you can't breathe, and if you miss something, it's going to cost you your home. So this is for your protection. Make sure you have some things lined up and that your bills are paid down. And that's why I said get rid of the credit card bills, get rid of the car payments, just cut it down to the bare minimum. Then you'll be able to afford that home payment and pay the water, the light, the utilities, the security, anything like that, the HOA, all of that. You'll be able to pay that. But the debt to income ratio is another figure that you need to look at. There are closing costs and fees, and this amounts to about 2%, 2 to 5% of your actual loan amount. And so these closing costs and fees are something that you're going to be responsible for. In some cases, sometimes the builder picks up some of that. Sometimes the homeowner, if you buy a resale home, they will pick up some of that, or you can ask them to pay for some of that. But these are expenses that are going to be there. Someone's going to have to pay them. And normally, sometimes it falls on the buyer because the seller has their portion to pay also. But this is all in the negotiation process, which is something that the realtor can help you with. Now, after you purchase that home, I want you to consider, and if you have a realtor worth their weight in gold, they will sit down with you. Consider the after cost. There's going to be ongoing costs. Just because you put this large amount down at the very beginning doesn't mean that it's just a house payment and that's it. But you may have some, or you may have some HOA dues. There's going to be insurance that you're going to have to continue to pay. There's taxes, there's utilities, there's maintenance, there's these things that come up that you will have to continue to pay for the life of that home. But in the meantime, you're still building equity into that home. So yes, you're paying more, but when you think about it, for some of these apartments you're living in, you're not paying the HOA or the taxes, but you are paying for the utilities and stuff like that. You know, you may pay for security as far as on your home. In the apartments, most of the stuff is built into the payment that you're making to that landlord, because I know I build it into my payment that my tenants are making to me. So I'm not trying to come out of my pocket paying for anything if someone is renting my property. So all of that is baked into the rent that you're paying. So just know that, but there's going to be some ongoing costs when you purchase a home. Now, I've been telling you guys that I'm a realtor, and one thing that I want you to know that most people don't know, when they walk into a new homes office for selling homes, those people in that office have nothing against them. I visit them all the time. They're friends of mine. I, go talk to them, see what kind of deals are going on, see what's going on in the neighborhood. I get all that information for my clients. But when you go in to see them without a realtor, they work for the builder. They do not work for you. They can write you up a contract and tell you a bunch of stuff, but the bottom line is they work for the builder. That's their employer, and that's who they work for. You need someone on your side. So I would caution you, and please ask you to find a realtor before you go in and even buy a new home. Some people think, oh, I'll just go buy a new home. I'll go to the office and, that's that. Most of the time, the builders are willing to pay the buyer's agent's commission. And if this is the case, this will be to your benefit, because the buyer's agent will need to be paid and someone has to pay them. And most of the times we can find up front who's going to pay the commission and work for you, while the builder will be willing, if they're willing, to go ahead and pay our commission. But that being said, make sure you are covered as far as that. Now let's just talk about a few of the things that a real estate agent can bring to your behalf. It's very, very good for you. And like I said, even when I was not an agent, I always work with an agent, because there were mistakes that would be very costly to me if I didn't have someone on my side working for me. And that's exactly what I wanted them to do. So the one thing that a real estate agent can bring is the knowledge about the market and the knowledge and experience that they have in selling homes. So that's one thing. They have access to listings. Normally we have a multiple listing service in our areas. So we have access to listings as they become available on the market. And sometimes I even get off-market listings. People tell me about things that I know that's coming up soon, or I get text messages for something that's on the market or an off-market that someone may be interested in. I can save you time with the search. Instead of you going out, driving around all over town, trying to find out where the places are or where the houses are for sale, and going on some of these limited places to look for homes that may be a little bit behind in recording whether the home is sold or not, I can save you time like that. I'm in a professional network, so I'm around realtors all the time. And so I know them, they know me. If something is going on, something I need to know about, I'm up on the latest rules and regulations. And that's a big thing, you all. You don't want to get into something or do something and you didn't do it to the full extent, and you get in trouble behind that. So that's another good thing. I will give you objective advice, and I will not make decisions for you. I tell all my clients I don't make decisions, but I give you the advice and I guide you along the way. At the end, it's your decision what you want to do. And I work with you through complex processes. You won't believe some of the things that I've worked through this year alone with people trying to sell something, trying to buy something, and everything is just not right in order. We do some things up front to make sure everything is going to go smoothly on the back end. And if you just bear with us, let us get through some of this legal stuff and the stuff that we have to do up front, we can be really your best friend when it comes to that. That way you know that the property, the title is clear, you can sell it, and there's not going to be any issues when it comes to that. So we do represent you. So we go out, and my interest is in your best interest. I don't work for the builder. I don't work for, if I'm representing you as a buyer, I don't work for the seller. I work for you alone, and I'm trying to get you the very best deal that I can. I'm treating your money like I'm treating my money, and you all know how I treat my money, okay? So it's a good thing to have a realtor on your side. That's the, it's an advocate. We're advocates for you. We'll do the job that we are supposed to do for you, and hopefully go beyond your expectations. I've had at closing, I usually give a small closing gift at closing, but I've had some of my clients bring me a gift because they felt like, you've done such a great job, you deserve this, and so we're bringing you a gift. I've had a couple of clients in specific that I've done a couple of deals with, and they know that I'm going to give them something, and they show up with something for me, and I'm really touched by that because I don't expect for them to give me anything. I'm getting a commission check, but I have the satisfaction of knowing that they got the home that they wanted to get. The kids are excited, wanting to hold the keys and all that kind of thing. So it's a different type of joy when that happens. But yeah, so if you think it's time for you to purchase a home because the interest rates are dropping, and they may continue to drop, you all. I don't know what's going to go on with the interest rates, but the thing is, if you want to buy a home, if you're not ready right now, these are some great tips for you to get ready and get into position to take advantage of, the opportunity when it comes along, okay? And so with that, I will see you in the next video.